Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
Broadcasting around the world.
Well, hello.
This is your number one internet radio station.
Rich and Chris and Drive Time Smile Radio.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. The weekend comes, my cycle hums, ready to race to you. These days are happy free. These days are share them with me. Goodbye, gray sky, hello blue. There's nothing can hold me when I hold you. Feels so right, you can't be wrong. Rocking and rolling all week long. Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. Saturday, what a day. Grooving all week with you. These days are ours. Share them with me. These days are happy and free. These happy days are yours and mine. These happy days are yours and mine. Happy days.
Welcome to the Richard and a Bit of Chris show with Lee live on Smile Radio. Hi Lee, how you doing?
Not bad, mate. How are you?
You okay, buddy?
Yeah, fine, thank you.
I'm Van.
Got a
Well,
little bit of echo on there, I think.
it's all right. I could hear the show playing because there's obviously a bit of a delay on live on the radio, and I could hear it. And I'd got a web browser open with the show playing. I'm thinking, where the
Oh,
hell's
did
that? At least I know we're live anyway. So unfortunately, we haven't got Chris because he's had his jab this week and he's poorly ill and dying. Bless him. Not literally. Let's hope. So get well soon, Chris. Hope
Yeah,
you
all the
feel.
best, Chris, pal.
I hope you're feeling better soon, Flower. Big Jesse. Anyway, just kidding. It's a term of endearment, honestly. No, in all seriousness, I hope you're all right, mate. So, coming up today, we have the featured artist who should have been last week because obviously we one thing and another. We had a bit of a mare, but you were off enjoying the sunshine, weren't you?
Sunshine, mate. Oh, I'll tell you what was I?
Watching, were it Castle Leeds?
Yeah, watching a bit of rugby, mate, and a few shandy pops.
Yeah. Well,
Good Friday and all.
Yeah, I ended up doing the same thing because the current Mrs. Harrison, unfortunately, as you know, we've been doing the garden whilst all this madness has been going on. I'm just about there, and she said she'd help me clear up. She's all, I'll help you.
What did she do?
Well, at
Stand
the
the
back,
box?
well, no, it'd have been a lot easier if she had done, because she were clearing all, you know when you're mixing cement and all that rubbish, there's all
I
crap
do.
that collates. So we're putting it all. I'd got a skip, and at the side of the garage, at the back of the garage, or where the studio is, it's a bit of an incline, as you know, Lee, and
Oh, yes.
and with all the rain and everything, so I'd laid some flags so you can't fall and slip,
Yeah.
So the current Mrs. Harrison, in her infinite wisdom, decides, you know what? I won't walk on them flags because they don't look slippy enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk on the grass outside. So she went arse of her tit, and I thought she broke her wrist. So I've made the worktop out of concrete on this island, right? And I'm
Did she
sort
drop a prosecco at the same time?
no, she didn't spill a drop. Didn't spill a drop. So
good girl,
old school,
good girl.
old school. You should know better to ask that, Lee. Anyway, so she's fallen over, and I'm cutting the mould off that I've done for this worktop. And I just happened to look up, and she's sat down, and she's not getting up. So I stopped what I'm doing. I said, "What are you doing?" And she was grey. And I thought,
Was
"Oops."
she leathered?
No, she was. In all seriousness, she was stone cold soberly. Unbelievable. So I'm there, and she goes, "I feel sick," and I went, "Oh," and she looked grey. and her wrist had all swollen. I thought, oh God, here we go. So go sit down here, and I had to go to A&E, take her to A&E. So this helped. So it's all played up again. So I had to take her back and have another look at it anyway. So yeah, the current Mrs. Harrison, she's an absolute star, but she drives me mad sometimes. But anyway, can't say what can I. She was trying to help. She was trying to help.
She was helping you.
Yeah.
Ish.
Right, as we are the beacon for unsigned music and artists, we have got what we're tried to do is play the previous week's featured artist, which was Reclaim Vienna, and they've been playing the last couple of weeks. We're having a few issues with our podcasting site at the minute because we're having some issues with America and licensing. They're saying that we don't have the correct licensing. I think we do, but anyway, I'm not going to bore you too much with that. But at the minute, so the podcasts are down at the minute, so hopefully in the next few days we should be back up and running once we can get all this stuff sorted out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play Joker, which was the latest release by Reclaim Vienna, and then we in the wings we have got the Shop Window. We've got Carl and Sid from the Shop Window waiting in the wings, so we'll get them on. So I'm going to play this song from the Joker, and we will. Oh, not yet. A bit eager there, kid. Bit eager. That's me. We meet itchy trigger finger. All excited. So this is Joker by Reclaim Vienna, and get in touch with us Instagram and Twitter at Smile Radio 3. We're on Facebook Live, and we're also doing a little bit of live streaming on Twitter as well, so you can catch us on there, so you can see our beautiful faces, listen online, or download the free app for all smart devices. Or even if you've got an Alexa, say Alexa, start Smile Radio.
Rich and Chris and Drive Time Smile Radio.
Welcome back to the Rich and a Little Bit of Chris Show live on Smile Radio. How are you doing, guys? We've been joined by Sid and Carl from the shop window. Can you hear me?
Yeah, fellas.
Greetings.
Greetings.
How are you, mate?
So I'm very well. Apologies for I know it's loud, but because that's coming through Zoom, and I haven't discovered how to reduce the levels at your end. I can at my end, but the thing is, when it's going out live, if I reduce the volume of the music, it affects what's going out live on the radio. So sorry.
All good. All good.
We have tested this as well, because when we listen back to it, especially on Alexa and things like that, we did it last week and we're like, oh really? Oh yeah, it sounds like a proper radio show.
It's a bonus.
Not bad for a couple of chances. So how are you doing, guys? I know a stupid question in all of this madness that's going on, but I hope you're keeping well and safe, and you all good?
Coming through it pretty well, actually. And I know, well, I speak to Sid every day, and I know that he's good. You know, there's been some positives out of all the rubbish, really. You know, we've been able to finish our album and do lots of music and spend lots of time with family, which, you know, is kind of, you've got to take as the plus sides out of it all, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. I think, because especially when you talk about family as well, I think you miss, don't you? But when, like, obviously when you're working and doing bits and pieces and things, and then you think, right, I've got to do this with family, and then all of a sudden you get this time where you can actually get to talk to you and speak to you and basically spend time with the family. It's different, isn't it?
It's like going back to basics, you know, and living in a cave together.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely outnumbered in my house. There's 1 and 3 other females that I've just completely outnumbered. I don't get a say.
You need a separate cave out the back.
Well, I've actually converted the garage into a studio, so my studio is where I'm at, and I'm literally, so I escape.
That's your cave. Yeah, brilliant.
I'm just wondering which one of us is going to be the first one to put a sign up that just says help.
Not me. Before the hand comes across.
Get me out.
Oh, brilliant. Well, again, thanks for taking the time out for coming on the show. Really, really appreciate it. And I know me and Carl, we spoke a little bit over the last couple of weeks. So yeah, we're loving what you're doing. So what's the plan? Are we getting any closer to get out there? And have you got any plans?
So the album's coming out soon. We haven't got an actual release date because we're waiting on news from the pressing plant for delivery. But it should be around about the end of May, early June. We're kind of looking at gigging probably from about end of August, September. We've got one booked in for November, which I'm not actually allowed to announce yet.
No.
And we've just been busy just writing continually. So we've kind of, you know, almost demoed the next album, and our debut's not even out yet. So, you know, we're planning to start recording the next batch at some point this year, and just keep it coming, really. Yeah.
Well, I think with all this lockdown, I think there's been so much time for artists, you know, bands, you know, solo artists to just, you know, practice their craft really and get things down. And it's amazing with technology. We had Alto Key on, and this is all done. I mean, he does work with the producer, but he pretty much does it all on his own, and it's just amazing. You wouldn't think it, you know, listening to what he's done, you know. So yeah, and I'm just a frustrated musician. I can't play anything.
But you see, we were talking about this before, because, you know, obviously Carl and I have known each other a long time, and back in the days when we first started doing music, he'd hand me an old cassette that he'd put a bit of sellotape over the end with demo ideas.
Don't give away our age, Sid. I used to send you a SoundCloud link, didn't I?
Yeah. No, it was an 8-track. No, and then, but you know, it's amazing. And yet now, you know, him and I are on. Well, I'm sure our wives are very aware of the fact that we're on WhatsApp an awful lot.
Yeah.
But you know, the way we can now write stuff and get stuff backwards and forwards to each other is unbelievable.
It's quick. The process is really quick, and you know, we don't have to meet up in a room.
Yeah.
We can, you know, we can have. Well, you know, recently, you know, I've kind of become addicted to writing songs, but from conception of a new song to completing a demo is kind of a week, isn't it, Sid? Sometimes.
Yeah. and you're constantly sending me new things. I'm like, whoa, where did that one come from? You know. So it's been, yeah. As we were talking about this the other day. We were saying that lockdown, in a way, has been incredibly creative for us, because it's allowed us time to kind of talk about ideas and for things to start flying around. So I'd imagine a lot of bands are working in a similar way. I'm sure, without actually having to teach them.
I think what you've just said there, a lot of bands that we've done, obviously Zoom Zoom it's just a pain. It's good and it's a pain because obviously we can't get in the studio and talk to you directly and have a bit of a chinwag and things like that. Obviously technical problems and things like that will come up. But yeah, I think a lot of bands that we've spoke to and obviously that's been on the show, they've basically said exactly the same as regarding, yeah, they can sit down, record something, send something over, and you can get hold of it a lot quicker than, like you were saying, Carl, earlier on, as regards like you can get it really quick and then you can just crack on with it.
Yeah, and you know, Sid, I'll send Sid something to Sid, and sometimes I'll only have half a lyric idea, and I'm like, can you finish that lyrically? I'm just not feeling it, so he'll get on and do that, or I'll be like, you know, can you stick some backing vocals on this and send us it over, and I'll stick it in the mix. And same with Martin, the bass player. You know, he'll send me bass parts over for demos and that. And
he goes to his man cave, doesn't he?
Yeah, Martin does. Yeah.
Has he got a bar in there? I hope.
I think there's a lot of something in there.
Well, Lee's a bassist, aren't you, Lee?
I did, yeah. I was just chatting to guys, obviously we're off air and just saying play a bit of bass and guitar and things. And it's like, I think basically it's the spine of the band with a drummer, isn't it, really? You know what I mean? Songwriters and other bits and pieces, guitarists and things, they're just like they just hang off us, don't they?
Yeah, but I always like, you know, demos, before I've got the bass on them, to me they always sound like they're in neutral. And then when you get the bass on, it's like, right, we're off. And
it kicks, I know what you're saying,
it just provides the movement, you know.
Yeah.
Totally I kind of think of it as I don't know why, I always think of it as a ship. And I just think of bass and drums as kind of the engine room, kind of making it all move forward.
What are you on the ship then, Sid?
I don't know. I was wondering whether I'm kind of, I don't know, Scully made? Obviously, Carl's the captain of this ship. I wouldn't like to even hazard a guess where I fit into that. You know, yeah, I mean, you're right. The bass just kind of makes it brings
it's the movement, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a band called Big Rooster Jeff, and there's Ruben does a show on a Monday night called Top of the Progs, because he likes his progressive rock, and he's only about, how old's Ruben? 19, 20, 21, something like that. He's only young, but his knowledge is vast. But there's him and his brother Max and Pat on the drums, but they don't have a bassist, and it really surprises me. But the tunes that they bang out are brilliant, you know.
Yeah.
To say there's
sometimes people can get away with it if they do it right. It's, you know, it must be a difficult thing.
I'm sorry, but that's impossible.
Well, if I tell you what, Lee, I'll play.
I'm not having it.
I'll play a song later on. I'll play a song from Big Rooster Jeff, and it almost reminds me a little bit of Bohemian Rhapsody, because it takes you on a massive journey, and it takes you from different. It's really, really clever, you know. And I've seen it live, and I've seen him play that track live, and it's just amazing. Max on the guitars, just, you know, and Pat the drummer, he's. But I'm just in awe of musicians anyway, you know, because I can't even play the bleeding ukulele. I've tried, but
I think if you've got like that sort of set up without bass in it, you've literally got to have every effect pedal on, haven't you? All the dirt's got to be on. The feedback's got to be filling in between.
All the fake stuff. All the fake stuff's got to be on there.
It was the they didn't have a bass player, but they had Zia McCabe, who was keyboards.
Yeah.
So she kind of made up for the bass by playing bass parts on keyboards. Which I'm not going to do, Carl, before we get any funny ideas.
Right, I think, should we break for a song? Should we have a quick break?
Let's get a tune on.
So, if it's all right with you guys, I'm going to play Out of Reach. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Who's that by then?
Believe it or not, that's Smile Radio's featured artist this week, called The Shop Window. So we'll come back to how we come to get your name as well, because I'm intrigued about that. But
right.
Don't go anywhere. So you're listening to Rich without Chris, with Lee, with our featured artist this week, The Shop Window, and this is Out of Reach, live on Smile Radio. Get in touch, Instagram and Twitter at Smile Radio 3, or on Facebook Live, Smile Radio Yorkshire. Right back after this.
Hate to say the times they are a-changing. I don't even know what day it is. Feels like real time living in a movie. Stop, rewind and play my part again. Out of reach, yeah. All the things that you love, lost the days, yeah. And another. Thinking of a space beyond the ceiling. Window on a world beyond the glass. Empty skies above the empty cities. Silence before the world turns dark. Out of reach, yeah. All the things that you love, lost the days, yeah. And another. Out of reach, yeah. All the things that you love, lost the days, yeah. And another.
I'm Lee from the far north, and you're listening to Rich and a little bit of Chris on Smile Radio. And a little bit the far north.
Welcome back to the Rich and a Little Bit of Chris show with Lee and our special guest, The Shop Window, Carl and Sid. Can you hear me, guys? Well,
Hello,
we're
guys.
back. Hey,
We're still here.
another week without another mistake, Lee.
I'll tell you what. Hey, you're getting good at this now, aren't you? You've only been doing it for what, nearly 3 years?
3 years in July.
At least I only joined about 6 weeks ago.
Thing is, like, me and Lee have known each other, and Chris, we've known each other 30 odd years. We've been friends, a bit like yourselves, you know. You've known each other, what, 20 odd years, has it? Something like that?
I was trying to work it out.
It's like
But I reckon
93, was it? 93, 94?
92, I reckon. So I think we're
92.
talking 29 years.
Nearly 30
Wow.
years, wow. Yeah.
So we must have been at least, what, 6 or 7 years old when we met?
Yeah, real young, proper young.
That's a lie, by the way.
Really? I wouldn't... Kicking my mollies down. So,
See, Lee, have you kind of declared the weekend open there?
yeah, God bless you, yeah.
Oh yes, mate. Yeah.
Right, okay.
It's Thursday, Friday, isn't it? Really. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
we've got to crack it open, haven't we?
Right, we're in.
Every
Cheers.
Friday, to be fair.
Cheers, fellas.
Cheers.
Hey, cheers, mate. What you got there, by the way?
It is Freedom Pale Ale.
Is it craft beer? Oh, mate, yes. Yeah.
This
Now
is
you're
one of
talking.
the,
we could do a full show on craft beer.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have to
same.
say, Carl and I spend a lot of time sending pictures of to each other of the different ales we're drinking that week. I'm feeling a bit left out. I've got to drive in a bit. So I can't help it.
Well, I don't know.
We'll do that for you.
I'm exactly the same. I'm exactly the same, Sid, because I don't know if I'm going to be driving after the show. Because sometimes, I mean, I don't drink at all if I'm driving, but yeah, I could quite fancy a little cheeky Guinness. But I don't know if we've got any. Because after last weekend, when you can have friends round, so we had Eric and Julian, and Lee'll know Eric's a really good friend of ours. He likes to drop a Guinness, and he wanted to sin the empties, and I think I bought about 20 odd cans, and over the weekend, and I think I only had about 3.
Snooze you lose.
Exactly. So, who come up with the name The Shop Window?
That was my fault. So it basically comes from the first song we really finished, which is Mannequin Lies. And the first line of the song is looking like a shop window. And it just seemed to fit the band, the shop window. I mean, we've got that kind of, slightly sort of C86, late 80s, early sort of creation sound going on. And it seems to sort of fit the name, the shop window, yeah. And it's, the song Mannequin Lies is about everyone has a shop window that they can hide behind as humans, and we only ever sort of present what we want people to see, and we don't allow people to actually see inside. We just give them the shop window. And I just thought it was a great name for the band.
No, it just intrigues me how because you get some really random, because there were Reclaim Vienna last week or the previous week, and it's like, where's that? And it was to do with the football. When Everton played at Vienna, it makes sense now, but you're just thinking, where the hell's that come from? But but it's same with for me, it's same like with lyrics and everything else. I'm in awe of people who I could sit there for 3 weeks and still not be able to pen something, because I don't have that creative side of my brain. Is obviously not switched on, but
Sid enjoys writing lyrics more than I do. I mean, I quite often, I'll write a song, but then I'll hand it over to Sid for lyrics to finish or whatever. I mean, sometimes they just come in 10 minutes, but I said to him a little while back, bung us a few lyrics if I get any ideas and stuff. And 30 sheets of lyrics come over. he just loves writing lyrics. I'm kind of I get the buzz off melodies and putting together songs and riffs and vocal melodies.
So in regards to the rest of the band, where's Martin and Phil today? Then are they grafting? What they're doing? What are they up to?
I believe Phil is working and probably changing nappies in between. Not his own. And Martin's probably in his cave with his second bottle of red wine by now.
Yeah, they said changing that could go. It's a good job Chris isn't here, because that'd have gone in a completely different direction, knowing Chris. Changing nappies. Anyway.
Is it all right if I mention the label quick?
Of course it is. Of course it is, mate.
So
Fill your boots.
The track you just played came out through Spin Out Nuggets on 7-inch vinyl, double A side with Evacuate. They're a great independent label, and they're doing our album on vinyl as well.
Oh, that's brilliant.
But they've got some great stuff on there. Really cool tunes and worth checking out.
Yeah, well, again, if there's any information we can share on our socials and on our website, whatever, and we're all about independent and unsigned music. That's the whole premise of the station.
Cool.
And eventually the plan, we're just in the. I keep saying this in the last few weeks. We've agreed verbal terms on a venue, which once all this madness is over, we should hopefully be able to. Everything between 500 and 700 people at the venue. So
excellent.
So if that all comes off, I mean, we've agreed, like I said, we've agreed verbally, but it's just in the hands of the estate agents and all the other bits, which seems to drag on for ages. For me, we've agreed. Can we get it sorted now? But because there's quite a bit of work to do once we get in. So I'm excited. So where are you guys based?
We're in Kent.
Right. Do you get up to God's County? Yorkshire.
Was that?
Do you get
what?
God's County? Do you get, yeah. The largest county in England. I'll just throw that out there.
Just drop that in.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Every day's a school day, son. Yeah.
I've learnt something.
Yeah. It's
You're
a lad.
beautiful. It's lovely.
Yeah.
I've been for 2 years, but it's lovely.
God were in good humour when he made Yorkshire.
No, it's a lovely part of the country.
Yeah, no, your venue thing sounds great. And,
So, do you get up to this neck of the woods then? Do you ever get up north or?
Well, hopefully we will once we're ready to hit the road and
Mm-hmm.
gigs are flourishing again. I think sort of ground root level, gigs should bloom and smaller venues should bloom coming out
Yeah.
of this. 'Cause I think everyone's so hungry to see.
Yeah. Well,
live
there's
music
a few, yeah, there's a few venues that I know, and and sadly they've closed, and it doesn't look like they're going to reopen either. And it's, bands and artists need these venues to almost cut your teeth a little bit and get that practice. And I don't care what anybody says, it's great being in the studio and all the rest of it, but live music is I just love live music and just that buzz.
there's-
And
There's nothing like seeing a band live that especially a band you're into, and you see them live. It's kind of the icing, isn't it? For
I think
playing
completing
live is just such a buzz. I mean, I've really missed that because I sing in another band as well, just a covers band near where I live, and we haven't done anything for over a year, and you miss it because it's a real buzz, and obviously gigging with the shop window is a whole different thing as well, which is when it's your own thing, so it's a real passion and a big drive, and desperate to get out there really.
Yeah, same. The last gig I actually did was playing guitar for Sleeper, which was end of 2019, December.
Wow.
I think it was 2019.
so another question for you both: who was the last band you saw live?
Ooh.
I think for me it would have been at that gig that I played with Sleeper. We Are Scientists were on
Scientists.
for us. Yeah, and they were fantastic, really good. That was probably the last band I watched before lockdown.
I haven't got a clue. God, I honestly, I don't know.
I saw
Honestly, don't know.
I saw Stereophonics last March, just before the lockdown, in Nottingham, and they were amazing, absolutely amazing.
Always a great live band, aren't they?
I think you were Richard Ashcroft, I think, in Leeds. Last one I saw. Must be.
Not a bad one though.
I actually think the last one I was at Camp Festival, and I saw Black Grape, and then
They were supporting Richard Ashcroft, by the way, as well. Yeah.
they were right. And then I think the night finished off with Nile Rodgers and Sheep.
Wow.
Brilliant. I actually
have to
played
say,
in Leeds. I played in Leeds on the Sleeper tour that year, actually, and it's a big converted church. What's that venue? Lovely old church.
Is it right in the centre?
What's that?
Is it right in the centre?
I believe so. I mean, we only kind of got to go
It's
to
not-
the venue and then back out on the van sort of thing after the gig.
I'm just trying to think. It's not St George's Crypt or like that, is it? Because there's a.
Just trying to think what it could be. That.
It's a big converted church, really cool venue. It's great.
Yeah.
It might be called the church. I don't know.
I don't know that one.
No, I think that's thrown me. I did actually go to a wedding to a converted church as well. That would actually the actual afterwards. It were all in a converted church, and I don't think it was the same place, but it could have been because they could have quite. Well, they had a big stage on there as well. Would it all just
Big stage and
everything?
big stage one end and bar at the other end. I'll have to look on the
Yeah, I'll have to have a look at that.
the tour itinerary and see what it was called, and I'll let you know.
Yeah, cool.
Because there's the O2, obviously, O2 Academy and all that lot, and
Yeah.
in Centre of Leeds, but that's thrown me, is that? Because I'd like to think
Sounds it.
I know Leeds quite well. Anyway,
We're all going to have to jump on a well-known search engine during the next song.
Yeah.
Obviously, a search engine.
Definitely, yeah.
right then. So I've got. Let's break for another song. So we've got. There's one that there's Reflection that I like. I like them all, to be honest.
Top chill.
But you mentioned evacuate, so I'll let you guys. Which one should we go with?
Sid, you pick one.
Oh, let's go with evacuate.
Right then, I'll let you introduce it then, Sid. Fire away, big man.
So this is evacuate by the shop window. Enjoy.
Everything I do for you. So calm down, calm down. Evacuate this anxious state and keep calm. Carry on, carry on. I'm moving mountains, complete a piece of me.
Apparently, it's Halo at Headingley. Is that it? Does that ring a bell? Halo at Headingley. Halo. Ah. Right. Well, we'll carry on with the song. We'll keep looking, guys. Keep looking.
I'm breathing deeply, trying to take you in, to hold on to the sense of you sincerely. I'm making pictures familiar to me. I'm holding tight, now the ride is for real. Everything I do for you. So calm down, calm down. Evacuate this anxious state and keep calm. Carry on, carry on.
Hey, this is Doug. This is Pat. This is Andy. We are Council, and you are listening to Rich and a Little Bit of Chris show on Smile Radio. Get that smile.
Welcome back to the Smile Radio with Rich, without Chris, Lee, and the shop window, Sid and Carl. Are we there, gentlemen?
We are.
Oh,
So, hello.
Oh, wait.
So,
Carl, that venue you were trying to remember.
Yeah.
When did you play there?
it would have been the 30th of March 2019.
It closed in May 2019.
yeah,
Oh,
Ah. there
What
go.
did you do wrong?
yeah, what did you do?
I have to say, I mean, it was a
smashed
lovely
place up.
venue, but the all the cabling and it was a bit chaotic. I remember the tour manager kind of getting a bit furious in places with, and the sound guy, he was pulling his hair out. You know, some of
I
the
reckon
guys
the
working
Blue
there.
Smarties request on the rider was it.
Could have been that.
Yes.
when you turn the tables out, I can't work in these conditions.
I'm done with this place.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. I'm sure there's. I know you can't really go
I
into
was
it.
going to say, can you tell us some stories then on some of the best stories you've had on tour, then, pair of you?
No.
Some lively ones, but obviously a bit. Obviously no blowfoot dads or anything like that. But
To do that, we'd have to go back to the 90s, wouldn't we? 'Cause that's the
some
last.
crazy ones.
Well, we did a bit in the noughties, didn't we? With
Actually, I do
Friday.
have one quite amusing story, Carl. It's fine.
Go on,
I remember
go on.
we were. I'll never forget this. We were playing a university campus, and I remember we came off stage. Carl, do you know what I'm going to say?
I think so.
we-
Was this
We've
when there
been
was
laying-
like,
we've been laying into the beers a bit, and
and there was a bit of an indie club afterwards, wasn't there?
yeah,
after the
we
gig?
didn't want to leave.
Full of
because it-
students. It looked like great fun, didn't it?
Yeah, but we were told we had to go because we had to move on. And somebody accidentally, as they were walking down the stairs, set the fire alarms off. So as we were leaving in the tour van, there were fire engines screaming towards, and
I
everyone.
don't advise anyone to do that as a silly thing to do as a youngster. You know, I just had the hump.
Yeah.
So the manager made us leave.
I think you remember
Terrible
the
thing
word-
to do, really.
The words were something along the lines of, "If I can't have fun, then no one is."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not proud of that moment.
I had an
We were
ex-girlfriend, something like that.
To be fair, I would have.
That must have
could-
been what 1997.
Yeah, probably around about then. I mean, there's probably lots of stories that are not suitable for air.
Well, and it's funny because I did think you might ask this question, and I did kind of think that probably the best stories are the ones you can't remember
Yeah.
for that very reason.
Well, it's fine because you can tell us because basically his podcast has gone down anyway, so he's not going to be able to repeat it anyway. So just tell us anyway. Four lads having a beer and having a chat.
Yeah, don't worry
Really,
about
two
anybody
lads
else.
having a beer and four lads having a chat.
Yeah. No, we did have some fun, and it's going to be interesting playing now because obviously we've grown up a bit since
Yeah.
then.
Well,
Yeah, you do-
it's actually, you know, I found it a really enjoyable experience touring with Sleeper as a, you know, slightly older person now, and it was just so calm and easier to do, and a few beers in the hotel and stuff, and I don't know. I guess it's just because I'm more that mindset now, but it was just so much fun, and probably enjoyed the music more now than playing back then because, you know, when you're younger, it's all about the other stuff as well, but now it's just about the music.
Yeah.
When you're sort of, you know, young and doing this, it's kind of like.
But
it's all about
that's part of the journey, though. Do you not think, Carl? That
Yeah. I mean, it's made us who we are now, and you know, all that crazy stuff we used to do, and
you know you've got to
no
do.
sleep for days and all that.
Yeah. Just within reason, as long as nobody really gets hurt. But if you can have a bit of a giggle and push
Yeah.
push the boundaries a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, we certainly did that here and there, didn't we, mate?
Oh,
I
that's
was thinking if my wife's listening to this, we're talking about a different band completely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally different characters as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
it's
No,
a friend.
it
We're
was-
Agent M and not Agent O.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was a while ago. I mean, it's different kind of. It's really interesting actually talking about this because obviously Carl and I have gravitated back into the world of music again, and it's really interesting how it's a different experience but very familiar at the same time. And I actually feel a lot more kind of. I don't know. I feel like I've got a much kind of better idea now of where I fit in with all this and what we're doing, and it's kind of odd. It makes me realise that back when we were doing it the first time around, I think it was all a bit like, whoa, running around like rabbit in the headlights.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah, definitely.
it kind of feels as if, I think, for me, I know a lot more, and I feel like we really do know what we're kind of trying to achieve now, and just in
Yeah.
terms of the songs and everything else. It's quite interesting looking back and reflecting on those things.
Because it's almost like, I know it sounds really old now, but it's a little bit that youth is wasted on the young because you've got so much energy and so much stuff, but you
It's
don't.
knowledge as well.
Yeah,
Knowledge is
and
power.
experience,
Yeah.
and it's just like
That's it, yeah.
you've got to
But
do it
it's-
now
it's
and
what you do
yesterday.
in- It's what you do in those years of your 20s, though, that make you who you are now.
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah.
Those mistakes you make and stuff.
Exactly, yeah. But there's certain things. It's like in all this lockdown, I've been doing all the garden. I've been laying Indian stone, and I've had to up it all up. And, you know, I realise I'm nearly 50. You know, and I'm thinking, oof,
Yeah.
what I could normally do. You're thinking, oh yeah, I'll be able to shift that 2 ton of grit sand. I'll get that done today. Maybe over 3 or 4 days.
I make that noise a lot these days, that oof
Yeah.
noise. And I've got a 5-year-old boy, and he's constant. He does it as well when he gets up off the floor. I'm just like, you Mickey, take it. But he'll get up the floor and he's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Billy Connolly said there that you get to that point in your life where you suddenly realise you can't stand out without going, oh!
Yeah.
That's the one, yeah.
The big yin.
And you know,
No,
you get-
honestly, I mean, I was 50 in December, and I've just spent all week gardening, and I can feel it. Do you know what I mean? And as you say, it's kind of like, But it's the same with beer as well. I find now you get to kind of 2 or 3, and it's like I'm done.
Oh no, I'm
not having that.
No, I'm worse, mate. I think I can drink more now than what I could do when I was 18.
Yeah, I can see.
And
Lee's a bit
appreciate
like,
more as well.
He's a bit like myself, where he's probably quite match fit when it comes to the beer, and we can have a few. Not get in trouble.
I kid you not. We have a do at our house every year, New Year, don't we, Lee?
We do,
and,
mate. Yeah.
And Lee is a beast when it comes to drinking. I made the fatal mistake. We went into Barnsley once. There's a few of us who all play football together, and we try. Well, before all this craziness, we used to try and get together at least once a month, and we'd go somewhere different. So we'd been out on the saucer. I like my Guinness, and so Lee starts on a cider and has a couple of lagers, and then he says, "What's Guinness like?" I said, "It's all right in here." So we'd had about, at that point, maybe 7 or 8 pints, and you know, I'm not a massive drinker. I like a drink. I'm not a massive drinker, so I'm well lubricated at this point. Big silly ass over there. He comes up. He says, "Yeah, he's got nice. That half of it's down." So I've got about the froth off mine. He's necked that one off. He says, "Are you ready for another?" "No, I'm all right, mate." Comes back again. Half of it's gone, and I'm halfway down my first one with him. He had 3 to my 1. And I'm thinking, this is, what do you call him? Oh, budgie supper. Are you supping like a budgie? and then you're drinking like a tourist, and then they all come out, innit? But yeah, if you never again.
I think there were
never again.
some worse ones that obviously you can't say on air, but yeah, there were some worse than that.
There's a shot you can put in Guinness, isn't it? I remember a night of doing that with a mate in London.
Chicky Vimto. Not the Chicky Vimto.
I'm not sure if it was like Southern Comfort or Tia Maria or something.
Tia Maria, yeah, it is, yeah.
Tia Maria, isn't it?
Yeah.
I remember a night of that. That was some serious.
Black Velvet. Something like that, Black Velvet. Something like
Black
that.
Velvet's champagne.
Yeah.
Guinness, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
think
remember
so.
drinking that. And do you remember, we weren't touring anything. We went to Ireland for New Year's Eve. Were you with us then, Carl?
Can't remember.
Went to Dublin. And
Yes, I take that as a yes. A good one as well.
I remember going to a bar, and our Irish friend Owen went, "Right, boys, you have a Guinness." And I went, "Oh, I don't really like Guinness." And he went, "Oh, you having a Guinness?" Anyway, 3 days later, and oh my lord, I found out what happens when you drink Guinness straight for 3 days as well. Yeah. It catches up with you. But that was just, and I have to say, Guinness in Dublin is something else.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's my favourite drink, I must admit. I do enjoy Guinness, top of the black stuff, but
I find now I only drink it in the winter. It's really weird. I get a craving for it kind of around Christmas.
I think it's not a summer drink, is it? Really, Guinness.
No, yeah.
To me, anyway, personally, I couldn't drink Guinness.
Not the way you drink
Red
it,
Hot in
Lee,
a
no.
beer garden. Well,
Yeah, it's definitely
It's about to disagree with that.
Yeah, well, I drink it all year round, but not like in the quantities. It was funny because we had my daughter. My daughter's 13, and it should have been probably 12 or 11 one New Year when she were here, and Daddy rocks up with his case of 24 Strongbow, and then it gets to, I don't know, maybe 2 o'clock in the morning. Obviously, we've done all that bit, crossing hands and all that, and singing. And Lee goes, what else have we got? So what do you mean, what else have we got? He'd done all 24 in. And granted, they're not full pints, but they're not far off. It's not a bad effort.
Yeah, that was back when I was drinking Anglider. I don't bother doing that anymore now.
So then he's going.
Until last Friday, I had a day off last Friday, and I was on the Thatchers.
And then he found my my spiced rum. Oh, now we're talking. He says. So between us, we did about 3/4, and then the 3/4 of, and I mean, I was just gimped in the corner, me, absolutely gimped. And I said,
but Eddie Keaton's just texting. He's just said now. He says it's Black Maria is the Guinness and the
Tia Maria.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Cheers,
yeah.
Eddie.
Cheers, Eddie, pal.
Yeah, that is a good one actually. You've had a few, they just keep going and
Just keep going down, don't they? Then.
yeah.
Oh yes.
And then you don't remember who you are or where you are or what day it is.
I've never tried.
I've been in Ireland.
Never tried it, and I get the feeling that I'm not going to be anytime soon.
Right then, I think we should break for a song. Enough about the drinking talk. We've been on 51 minutes already. Where's that time gone?
Tell you what.
We're having fun though, aren't we, lads?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, well, my daughter's just gone out, and I was going to ask her to bring me a drink, but I don't know if I'm driving. I'll have to text the current Mrs. Harrison to see if I'm driving or not. Anyway, so if it's all right with you guys, I'm going to play Reflection.
Yeah, I love this tune. Love this tune.
Awesome, thank you.
Right then, mate. So we're listening to The Shop Window. This is Reflection. I'm Rich. We've got Lee. Chris is at home cuddling up with his duvet. And we're right back. Oh, she's on Facebook Live. Am I driving, Mrs. H? Let me know. She's not answering. Right, this is Reflection. We're right back after this. Don't go anywhere. Sorry about that, lads. Press wrong button. Well done, Carl. You've passed the test and you know all your tracks off. That's brilliant. Well done. Well done. Yeah. We know he's not an imposter, Lee. Whew.
Easy to obsess about the life you're going to lead. Sometimes forget just to be so caught the here and now. We know life is too short. Love while you can. You can't start again. You're a silent star, light up the way, grow who you are. Seen things that I'd rather not. Felt pain to change your mind. Now I love all that I've got. Enjoy the simple things. We know life is too short. Love while you can. You can't start again. You're a silent star, light up the way, grow who you are. Life is too short. Love while you can. You can't start again. You're a silent star. Light up the way. Grow who you are. See my reflection. Worthy resolution. Be a good human. Love while you can. See my reflection. Worthy resolution. Be a good human. Love while you
In the mix. Back to back, beat to beat. Come on, DJ. Hit me with another track.
Smile Radio.
I just thought I'd do a back to back. Let's have a bit of Sad Eyes, eh?
I've seen you sitting in your chair, waiting there, watching time. All you have now is the past. The future's gone beyond your grasp. I showed you photos of your great grandson, how he's grown, how he smiles. Remind you of when I was young. For a moment, time stood still. Sad eyes sparkle. Your tired mind looked like it woke for a moment. Sad eyes sparkle. So long waiting for peace now, my love. Conversation stumbles along. You look at me with a blank glare. In the meantime, the football's on. Reminds me of times we shared. I hope you're not suffering. Occasionally, I see your flare. We shared ice cream and a couple of goals. For a moment, time stood still. Sad eyes sparkle. Your tired mind looked like it woke for a moment. Sad eyes sparkle. So long waiting for peace now, my love.
Welcome back to the Rich and a Little Bit of Chris show with Lee and the shop window, Carl and Sid. Are we still there, guys?
Yes.
We're here.
Yes, we're loving it. I've just been, Lee's asked, been talking pedals, unfortunately, and I've been watching, and it's, he might as well be talking Swahili to me. I'm sorry, but I'm going to pass you over to Lee because Lee is he's over to you.
Don't attack.
No, from a point of view with the instruments and pedals, and I have no Scooby.
Yeah, guys, come on then. Let's see how you. Yeah, I think Carl's digging some.
So,
what you digging out?
These two are the main shop window guitar sound. So
Carl's
it's the Boss CE2 chorus pedal from the 80s, which is like the kind of classic 80s chorus pedal.
Absolutely fantastic, yeah.
And you just kind of whack that one up, and you get those kind of House of Love guitar tones if you want, and that kind of thing. And this Boss Blues Driver, it's just incredible. You can use it for just a tiny bit of crunch, just to break up a sort of really clean jangly guitar, or you can go all the way up and it can just sound like a beautiful sort of overdriven amp. It's just such a good pedal. It's so subtle, and the thing I like about this over so many other drive pedals is that you can still hear the chord ring through. Whereas lots of other drive pedals, you just get that kind of washy sound where you lose the chord change sounds a bit and the sort of notes ringing through.
Yeah.
But the Blues Driver really kind of keeps that intact.
Come on, Agent 2. Where?
I haven't got any.
Well, Agent O, neither have I.
No.
But you have got a story for us, have you not?
Oh no, I was going to say, I just remember doing a gig years ago with Carl, and I remember prancing around, and
He does that a lot.
I kicked his guitar lead out of your pedal. So suddenly, within like the first minute of this song, there was silence coming out of Carl's amp, and then this guy frantically crawling around on the stage, and then I did it again about the day, I think it was the following night. After that, I had to keep away from your pedal board. It's like, don't go.
He was always doing that. Always doing that.
I think I've got a similar story actually. We played one of the bands I played. We were in Garage. Is Islington?
Yeah, Highbury Corner, Islington.
Yeah, and we were playing in there, and my brother put up. He used to play keyboards and guitar, and it was just. I think there were. I don't know what it was, but somebody stood. I don't know if it was the lead singer. And he was just about to kick into this beginning of the song, and he stood on the I don't know how he did it, the actual power lead into the keyboard, and he just went massive and there was just nothing there, and they were like drums kicked in, everything else kicked in, but there were no keyboards, and it were like
it's amazing, isn't it?
And then you could see him, and he just didn't.
You can rehearse for 6 months in a rehearsal studio, and none of this will happen. Then first gig, it's like you knock everything out and. Your guitar's out of tune. And
yeah. I mean,
can't remember what you're singing.
Other bands, I've seen other bands. I've seen people when I've been watching gigs, and they're going up and they're like, "They tune into the guitar so they don't sound as good as them." And I'm like, "You are having a laugh, aren't you?" And obviously, you're checking before you start. I've seen all sorts, strings cut, all sorts of things. It's absolutely.
And, I always take a photo on my phone now of my amp settings. After a sound check, because there's a lot. As some people just run along with the finger and change your settings before you after. You
I mean that must be the biggest nightmare. I mean we used to mark them off and everything, and it's like,
It's sometimes it's out of your hands. I remember many moons ago in a different guise when in our old band we had a song that had a deliberate delay effect on it, and there was one gig where the engineer spent the whole song trying to. Do you remember? He was trying to get the delay. He was trying to take the delay off because he didn't realise it was part of the song.
Oh yeah.
So what's going on? And you're trying to do a song. And
was that in West Pier when we covered Permafrost by Magazine?
No, when we had that song Your Gravity. Do you remember?
Oh yeah. So it had like a slow tremolo.
Yeah, it was tremolo.
Real sort of square edge wave tremolo. So it was really choppy.
Yeah.
And I think he thought the guitar was cutting out. Because it was like jag.
So he's like his fingers are all over. He's got arms like Mr. Tickle, and he's like.
It was the tremolo pedal.
Notice how Carl explained that a lot better than I did. I just went. We had this effect pedal that see. Yes.
Yeah.
Carl's better with stuff like that. A lot better.
Yeah,
Guitar
Lee-
geek, guitar
that
geekery.
sound, you know, the thing that does that.
You know that sound sounds like a paw movie. Chick, chick, wow, wow. You know that one?
Oh, that's a wow pedal.
I don't know.
Oh, here we go. Steal me thunder. That's on it, mate. The
You
palm
know that
sound.
movie
You know
we
what?
watched when we were like 16? Remember that sound? Let's get that sound.
Yeah. We got that one. We got out of your mum's blanket cupboard.
Yeah.
Is that the sound that happens just after he fixes her washing machine?
Something like yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the plumbing over there is ridiculous, isn't it? In this day.
So what's the next thing for you guys then? What you're looking at? What you're hoping to do anyway? Obviously, when we come out of lockdown and things open up, hopefully 21st of June. So we've been told.
Well, so just to get out and gig the album, really promote the album live, because at the moment all we can do is online promotion. In conjunction with the label doing some online promotion as well for the physical release. So it would be great to be able to do some shows and play the songs and do old school, promote an album live.
Yeah. What areas are you looking at to be playing at then?
We'll probably start in Kent. We'll do a bit of London and see what gets offered. Really, I mean, we're sort of, because we're a relatively new band and we've grown a lot in the last year since our debut single came out. People are sort of approaching us for stuff like that now. So I don't think we need to sort of be looking at playing down every corner pub in Maidstone in Kent. We can sort of pick and choose and do better gigs and try and make more of a show of it rather than doing 40 a month. We just do maybe a couple of really good ones a month and try and put more effort into promoting those. And I think we'll kind of get more traction from those kind of gigs now. I mean, we've been gigging for like 20 odd years, so
you know the score, don't you? Yeah. As regards like headlining and things like that, bands as well. Like obviously, would you be able to get bands to? Do you know a few bands that would be coming to? Obviously, just warm up for you until you get on. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, there's. I mean, well, one of the gigs we're going to announce soon, we're supporting sort of pretty well-known indie bands that we've loved for a long time. But can't announce that one yet.
No.
But yeah, so as far as us going, we'd be happy to support anyone really if it's the right gig. And we'll get sort of local bands that would support us maybe as well.
Because I was talking to this at work to a lad and about some bands and things like that. And as regards like bands and some of the bands I've seen, like do you remember Wishbone Ash?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I went to watch. There were me and my dad. We went to watch Wishbone Ash, and there were these two brothers playing just before, just to warm up, and they were like playing away, and they were absolutely terrible.
Oh, really?
And I was like, oh my god, I felt so sorry for them, and they were like, guitars were actually, I don't know what were going off, and then they end up like turning into like being on. Well, basically they've signed, they've made massive acts, and I'm just trying to think what they were called. In fact, I was talking to you, Rich, about it.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of the band. And the massive, and they were on Soccer AM. I think they've been on Soccer AM 3 times. This and that. And I was like, I can't believe it's the same. And they're from Wakefield, where we're from. And absolutely fantastic. What do they call them? The name of the band's gone.
All right, pair of us three, aren't we?
I'll tell you what. I can't think of them, and they're absolutely, and they were really young as well. They were like 15, 16, and I felt so sorry for them, and they were absolutely. And anyway, when I told my dad, he went, "You what? That pile there before Wishbone Ash?" And I went, "Honestly, that's them now. The Cribs, that's it. The Cribs."
Oh, the Cribs.
Yeah, right, the Cribs.
Yeah. They had Johnny Marr play for them for a while, didn't
they? Yeah.
And I couldn't. I was like, what? And they've just come from. Absolutely, because I just do remember it, and I felt so sorry for them. But obviously they've gone home and they've practiced and they've got the sorted out, and whatever they've done.
That's the key
It
thing.
just shows you, doesn't
it? It's all about desire, and
Yeah.
if the fire's burning strong, you'll get there.
Exactly.
I think.
Yeah.
I mean, the past year we've become sort of quite good friends with a few bands on Twitter that we like their sound and their music, and that would be a great thing to do coming out of all this. Is do gigs with some of those bands that we've become fond of.
Yeah.
There's bands on the label we're on, like Jetstream Pony. They probably made my favourite album of last year. And there's a band from Ireland called Emperor of Ice Cream. They're great.
Well, I like that name.
Yeah. There's a Kent band, Theatre Royale. We love those guys as well, and they're only just up the road. So we'd love to do gigs with a lot of these bands that would audiences would cross over and appreciate both bands.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of what artists need to do, really, is get together and put on shows and share audiences, a bit more of that.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. Especially what's gone off as well, because I think, as you were touched on it earlier on, and regarding talking about people absolutely hungry to go to gigs and things like that, I think it's just going to be they'll just go to everything. I mean, going out live music now, I just can't wait for it. It's going to be absolutely massive.
You see people on social media that have already sort of bought tickets for like 15, 20 gigs for this year when they start happening, because they're so hungry for it and to get back out there.
That's because I've had. I mean, majority of people have been really optimistic and positive, but I've had a couple of people who've said, "Oh, I don't know about setting up a live venue," and and well, now's the time to do it for me. I just think it's. Yes, we're going to have restrictions, and but there's going to be more. There's other things that we're going to be doing with the venue. There's going to be.
But it's not just that, Rich, as well. I mean, where you're based as well, you'd literally just lower down from university as well, which I've spoke to a guy who's been in there before, and where it is position-wise, it's an ideal situation. It's going to be. I think it's an ideal situation where you're situated anyway.
But the whole premise, the station is going to be run from there. I mean, I must admit that the lockdown and in regards to the station and the music that we've had, it's our listenership has increased, our social media presence increased. I mean, it's all organic as well. I refuse to pay for advertising and all that, because it's just, for me, it's like anything, word of mouth is the best thing. And the amount of traction that we've got, we're getting probably 200, anything between 215 to 275,000 impressions, with Twitter and the interactions we're having with the various bands, and it's just, and the listenership's gone up, with it just short of 500,000 since we launched, and it's just like, if you'd have told me
that's amazing.
I would have never have believed
since last 6 weeks as well, since I joined.
Yes, since Lee joined. It's all about his musical knowledge,
And drinking beer live on radio as well.
Yeah, I know absolutely F all, you know what I mean? So, but
when you do the kind of beer drinking radio show, it makes people feel like they're in the pub with you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is. That's what it's all about. We're having a chat. We're not here to say, oh, by the way, how long have you been together? What have you done? What's your blood group?
Yeah.
We're having a beer, aren't we? Talking about
exactly. Just chilling out and just talking about music. That's what it's all about.
It all links in with the premise of the city. We're not trained presenters. We're not polished.
You can tell.
We're not technical. I mean, I've got an IT background, but all this technical stuff is it's all new to me. Do you know what I mean? And I've done various gigs. We did a live festival a couple of years ago, and I was co-hosting it. And I just got a taste of what it must be like for a band or an artist. I come off and I was buzzing my tits off. Honestly, absolutely amazing to have that crowd in the palm of your hand. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a real high.
It's amazing, and I loved it.
You get a real come down after a tour.
Yeah, I can imagine.
This kind of weird periods of a week after a tour where you're just kind of like in this black space of nothingness.
And also, I mean, your stints with Sleeper. I mean, Carl sent me some footage that, from the stage point of view, when he did a Sleeper gig, it's like, oh my lord, how many people were out there?
30,000 at Sheffield Tram.
Wow.
That's not bad, is it? It's not a bad gig.
Well, mine were about 3,500, but even then, I just Hey,
I'm not laughing at you, Rich.
Yeah, I know you're not.
It's but that buzz is kind of. There's nothing that can compare to that buzz of sort of performing in front of a crowd, and having them. Is
Yeah, because the premise of what I want to do with the venue is it's all about Smile Radio is all about independent and unsigned music, giving them a platform and giving an opportunity to have the music listened to. And again, Lee touched on the podcasting side of it. I'm having issues with American licensing, even though I pay ASCAP, BMI, and the thing is, this station's funded by me and my wife. It's an expensive hobby, shall we say. I don't make a penny from it. I don't make a penny from the podcast. We've had, I think, 20,000 downloads of all the different shows this year, and they're threatening to close the podcast down because, and I've sent a copy of the licensing, but because of America, it's just a nightmare. They've got, for the artist, whoever writes the lyrics, whoever does backing, whoever does this, any aspect of a track. It's not like over here where you pay PPL and PRS and the webcast license that I have to stream live on the radio. I try, it would go against everything that I am as a person and everything that I'm about at the station is not to help and support the artists, and pretty much 90% of the music on the station is unsigned and independent. We do have what I call commercial stuff. We have bits in the playlist, and like Kevin, who the Chip Ahoy show before us, he plays a lot of Dylan and all that kind of stuff. It's a really eclectic taste he's got, and it's a brilliant show. And then we've got Nathan on a Saturday morning, does a bit of a quiz, but he plays all what I call the pop music, which is fine, which is good, and he's got a good listenership. And it's all about, for me, is about giving bands an opportunity, and the venue links him because the station's going to be there. I want to look at trying and get some original acts in, but getting unsigned and independent artists to support them. And if those bands aren't willing to get on board, I don't care who they are, they won't be playing. Or what, you know what I mean? I know everything comes at a cost, but I'm principled in that respect.
Yeah, I mean, John Peel left a massive hole, didn't he?
Yeah,
when he went. And
if you check,
it's guys like you though that are sort of filling up that hole and giving bands like us, some more reach.
On the website, Carl, I've got a statement, and it's sort of, I want to be known as a modern day John Peel. I know it's a big bold statement, but I just think it's. I mean, there's other stations out there, and I'm all about collaboration. I share stuff across. There's a station down in Birmingham way. God, I forgot. Away Days Radio, it's called. It's more about football and that kind of thing. But there's collaboration, and we share stuff and information and bands, and that's what it's all about. It's share the love. It's not all about.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? And it sounds like I'm on this moral crusade, but I'm not. It's about giving people an opportunity where they don't. You've got your set. I mean, I like listening to XFM. I like Miles, and I like Johnny Vaughan on a drive time. He's mad as a fish, and it's great listening to. And I laugh away as I'm cooking tea, but the playlist, it's oh my god, it's the same over. And don't get me wrong, I love the music, but it's on a continuous loop, and it's not.
Yeah, I mean, like bands like us, we need people like you because it gives people out there the opportunity to make their own mind up, about stuff. And discover it.
What you've just said there, bands such as yourself, who's writing really good music, there's people not going to be able to hear this unless you've got a radio station such as yourselves and others. There is others out there as well, but producing, and it's not. We're not all about like promoting this radio station. It's all about promoting the band. Obviously, we need to promote the radio station as well. But also as well, we need to talk about and just chill and not like go, oh, by the way, what's this, what's that? And it's just having a chat like we have been doing. I think it really makes it important just being able to chill like this and talk like this and talk about things. And it makes people who's listening at home, obviously can't go anywhere, sat down having a beer, whatever it is, glass of wine, whatever it is, chilling out and just saying, oh, great stories. But you know what I mean? A couple of stories.
It was actually really nice, actually, to the feeling of coming onto your show, because it wasn't like the feeling of, oh, we're going on radio to be interviewed. It was like, oh, we're guests on a show. It felt like, we're guests on the show, and we're just joining in the fun, really. And it wasn't like we were getting put under the spotlight and interviewed. So it's a bit more relaxed coming into this.
Yeah, and the thing, it's about promoting you. And like at the first hour of the show, I mean, we've only played half a dozen songs, but there's one from Reclaim Vienna, and then the rest have been yours. And I've got Mannequin Lies lined up next, and then we're going to do the song for whatever. But it's about you. It's about the artist. You know, the amount of work that people don't realise the amount of work that goes into getting you on the show, doing the website. You know, it's all the work that I do. You know, and it's
all the correspondence to
yeah.
Time, doesn't it?
And I just said to Lee, I mean, I'll be honest, I was really peed off with the issues with the podcast this week, and I took a couple of days off, not off, but I've got my little one at home, so I've been painting, deep joy. But then I'd seen my arse a little bit in regards to all I'm trying to do is promote. I do not make a penny out of it, and I don't want to sell out and become a commercial radio station where we get advertisement. And I know it's kind of contradiction, but I don't want to sell out because I don't want every 2 minutes an advert coming on. I want it to be about the band, about the music, about the station, you know, and it's just keeping it simple and not being sanitized and, you know.
I think there's an element of that with us in this band as well. It's like, you know, yes, we'd like to be able to make a living from making music and that be just our income, but we're not worried about making a load of money from it. We just want to make the kind of music that we love and keep to that. That is it, you know. And if we could make enough money that this was our only job, then it would be great. But we wouldn't, you know, we have no desire to make our millions from it, doing, you know, sucking up to the machine. It's like we just want to kind of make the music that makes us happy, because that's where happiness is really. It's not in a load of money in a wallet.
Well, I'm under no illusion, Carl, doing this as a station. I'm never going to be a rich man. I know that, but I haven't done it for that. I haven't done it for that. You know, I know I was working on a local community radio station called Five Towns in Cass, and I ended up practically running it, and it was just so much hassle because there were all so many chiefs and not enough Indians, you know, and everybody were. So I just said, "Oh, blow it! I'm going to do my own thing," and I did, and I set it up, and I absolutely love what we're doing, and I, you know, in 3 years, it'll be, like I said, 3 years in July since we officially launched, and I love, and you know, like I said, I haven't checked any. I've got 132 emails of song submissions. That's just me, and there's Rich who helps me manage the station.
Yeah.
We are literally, and this is no word of a lie, we get hundreds of submissions a week, and we've got to listen through them, and I want to give them, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some better than others, you know, and I'm not going to start slagging anybody off.
It's a lot to go through though, isn't it, each week?
You've got to listen to it, and I'll sit there with my headphones on, and I've got my laptop, and, you know, even though I might think it's crap, or I owe them that. I owe the person or individuals who've sent me the music for me to listen.
Did I send stuff to you? I can't remember how this came about.
No, I would just I was just looking, and I was listening to some of your stuff. I've listened to a couple of your stuff, and I just sent you a message saying I'd love to get you on the station, and so yeah.
You're on my list now, so you'll get sent stuff in the future.
Well, I was just going to ask you. No, brilliant. And if you can send, you know, if you can send me your album over, and you know, and again, when I'll stick to, you know, the label. I get all of that. I would never play anything that's not, you know, out or anything. But
we'll send you. We'll definitely send you an advanced listen link, a private link when we can do that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, won't be too long now.
Yeah, and anything that we can do to support, to promote, send it across. We'll put it on all our socials, and I'll do whatever I can, you know, to help promote.
That's amazing. Yeah. We need people like you guys.
No. We love it. Right then, I'm gonna quit and play a song. I'm gonna play Mannequin Lies. Is that all right?
Awesome. Thanks, man.
So we'll play this, and then we'll come back to Carl's song for whatever. So normally that's in the second hour, but we're 1 hour and 25 in. Time fly when you're having fun. Where's my Guinness? Right, you're listening to Rich, Chris, and the Shop Window live on Smile Radio, and this is Mannequin Lies.
Like a shop window, the mannequin lies. I can see the world to step outside across the wall. You can see me smile from there, the rest I can hide. Alone in the night, I'll be working it out, working it out. Open the door, I'll be feeling the love, feeling the love. It's a blanket over me that suffocates, dragging my heels through nails. I try to wake up, I'll dress outside with sun, a Trojan horse. You know me so well though, babe, your love is key. Alone in the night, I'll be working it out, working it out. Open the door, I'll be feeling the love, feeling the love. Alone in the night, I'll be working it out, working it out. Open the door, I'll be feeling the love, feeling the love. Alone in the night, I'll be working it out, working it out. Open the door, I'll be feeling the love, feeling the love. Alone in the night, I'll be working it out, working it out. Open the door, I'll be feeling the love, feeling the love.
Hi, it's Wild Horse here. I'm Jack.
And I'm Henry.
I'm Ed.
And you're listening to Smile Radio.
Welcome back to the Rich Unlimited Chris Show with Lee in the shop window. Carl and Sid live on Smile Radio. We still like
Hello.
it? Oh, we still
The beer is flowing.
The beer is flowing. I'm well
Mine's not
jealous.
flowing at all. I've got a glass of water. How rock and roll is that?
Hey, don't get any better than that. Well, I'm well.
That's a GT, that, isn't it?
That's the closest I've got. I've got a coffee and a Guinness cup.
Just pretend.
Yeah, just pretend. Yeah. So, loving your tracks. So, in regards to all your music, then, and I know you've got your album coming up. Who I know the second part of what we normally talk about is the song for whatever, and you've chosen a song by Blur. So, are they a big inspiration, or I hate using that word, but you know what I mean?
I mean, they'll you know, Graham Coxon was probably a guitarist that made me. Graham Coxon, along with Johnny Marr, John Squire, maybe Andy Bell from Ride, they were sort of guitarists that made me want to pick up a guitar and be in a band in the first place. But I think why a certain period of Blur is quite special to us is that it was sort of when me and Sid first met, and you know, the album out at the time was Modern Life is Rubbish, and we were so kind of in love with that album, and it was like our kind of common ground, and it just made this whole kind of magical thing of being in a band, just something that we aspired to and wanted to do. And it was just because with Modern Life is Rubbish, Blur sort of created this world around them that was the opposite of everything that was going on at the time. Like grunge was the kind of in thing right then. But with that album, they created something and established a sort of British identity again with music over here in this country. And, you know, it was pretty much the album that kickstarted Britpop and the mindset for that. And, you know, everyone getting into English bands again and British bands again. And it was that kind of, you know, reaction to grunge, I think. And, you know, just taking all that quintessentially English stuff from like the Kinks and bands like Madness and XTC. It was all that stuff, and Squeeze, you know, it kind of wraps it up in their own world, and also added that element of mod to it, so it was stylish as well. And, you know, and I think that just it rang so many bells in our heads that, like, this is just magical, you know. And we loved that album, didn't we, at the time?
I've got a very fond connection with that album. I think it set that period, and, you know, I always just have very fond memories when I hear it, because it reminds me of, I think it was that kind of hunger it gave, you know. It's that kind of, I want to do this and I want to be like that, and, you know, buying suit jackets from charity shops, and which I still do, to be honest. But I think it set a whole, I don't know, a statement of a time, and it was, you know, it's a great album.
Yeah, I think what you've just said there, it's especially regarding all the bands that you've just mentioned as well. British bands, I think people forget how good we are at music, and it is because we are really good at music. And I think you go over to America and things like that, and they look at things over there, and I mean, I think they love us more than what we love ourselves. You know what I mean? Sometimes when especially regarding music-wise. And we are absolutely fantastic when it comes to music. All the bands, whether it's past, present as well, coming up now. I mean, obviously things what we're doing now, bands such as yourselves as well, coming through and producing things like what you're doing now. I think it's I just think it's fantastic as regarding the British side of it as well, because it is a massive thing as well, and I think it's coming through again, especially through all this crap with the lockdown and things like that, and everything what's going off. I think it's going to overwhelm everybody. I think eventually when we're allowed to do what we can do. Yeah,
absolutely. And, you know, I think all those sort of bands we were talking about that were probably influences to Blur, they all have that sort of strong identity. You know they're a sort of British band. You know, they couldn't be from anywhere else.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Quintessential. I mean, you mentioned XTC. I always think of XTC as such a British band.
And the Jam, you know, the Jam. How could I forget the Jam?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. You know, and it's
kind of everything you need there, isn't it, in the Jam?
Oh, that's it. That's right. That's right, isn't it?
My first album I ever bought was Setting Suns by the Jam. Yeah. That's my first. And talking about cassette, and I had it on my Walkman when I used to do my paper round. And it got chewed up, and I was absolutely gutted. You know, and sometimes you'd be able to repair it, but it was beyond. You got it.
Did you ever try like a little bit of sellotape or a bit of snap tape?
I did everything. I was absolutely every morning before school. I used to have Setting Suns, and I know Lee has a question about albums. I won't steal your thunder, Lee. See, he likes to ask our guests. About which albums and that. Over to you, Lee. I'll let you.
Yeah, I think what it is, you've just going on about artists and bands and things like that. So if you're basically, it sounds a bit corny really, if you were stranded on a desert island and you had one album to take with you and one celebrity, which would it be?
One album,
and one celebrity as well to chat to.
I've got my album.
Go on then, Sid.
My album would be Soul Mining by the.
Mine would have to be, I think, Stone Roses' debut.
Oh, I'll tell you what.
If I can only take one,
yes.
It would have to be that, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. So your celebrity, which celebrity would it be?
Not Morrissey.
You won't last long, would you?
And actually, on current sort of views. Probably not Ian Brown. But actually, who would I take? I don't know.
That's a really, yeah.
I reckon I'd take Prince Harry. I think it'd be a giggle.
I tell you what,
I think he'd have some stories.
I think you're right,
yeah, and he'd probably, tell us some home
probably
truths
be a bit
about the royal
peed off
family.
today, kind of thing. Well, whether he'd be peed off today or not, I don't know. But
well, yeah, this is
I often thought it'd be quite fun to hang out with Julian Cope, but I think that could get a little bit too weird.
Yeah, if you could find him, he always wanders off. Do you remember Dave Cooper, our sound engineer in West Pier days, telling us a story of Julian Cope getting out of the tour bus for a wee? They stopped somewhere alongside the road, and he apparently just walked into this field, and they couldn't find him for 3 days. Had to cancel like 2 or 3 gigs because he just went for a wander off, had his wee on the side of the motorway, and just wandered off.
might be looking for a dog leaf. He might have found a nettle.
Actually, there was another story about Julian Cope, which was when we worked with a guy that had engineered for him, produced him, and I always remember he told us this story about they were working on Sunspots, which is a classic Julian Cope track, and Julian Cope at the time was very well known for indulgence on many levels, and apparently they left the studio for a few hours, and Julian had been indulging whatever he's and they went back, and apparently I always remember it was Steve Lovell.
It was Steve Lovell, yeah. Actually, I think it was Steve Lovell told me that story about the one.
Oh, did he? Yeah. Well, he said he sat there and he played the drum track to Julian Cope, who at the end of it just went, "Wow, man, the song's finished," kind of. He just been listening to the drum track. And there was another story apparently where, when he was in Ireland, he fell out with the bosses at Island Records, and they had a big wind machine in the basement where they were recording, and he set light to a bin of paper and pointed the wind machine and blew all the smoke up the stairs into the Island Records office.
That's what I'd do.
Makes me feel better about my little fire alarm.
Yeah. There you go, you're off the hook now. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'd like to tell you some stories as well about me, but obviously that I can't do that either. Mitch'll know some of them.
We'll have to meet up at a pub one night in Leeds.
Oh mate, honestly, we'd have a right giggle. I'll tell you now, we would have a giggle.
So if you get up to these neck of the woods, we'll have to when we get the venue. I'll keep you informed as well, Cal.
We'd love to.
Definitely,
We'd love you to come and play. So you know.
What you were on about there as well, as regarding, I said the other week, do you remember last week, Rich? I think I said Appetite for Destruction and BB King as my celebrity. Just basically for BB King to sit and just to listen to the stories he had. I mean, can you imagine some of the things he'd have had to say? But then I thought, no, not Def Leppard, Appetite for Destruction. It was Hysteria, but I was thinking Guns N' Roses actually. And I thought, Def Leppard, Guns N' Roses, and I thought, you know what, Appetite for Destruction, Guns N' Roses, absolutely one of the best albums I've heard for one of the classics anyway, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, it's the type of question, you know, which album would you take and which celebrity? It would change every day you asked it.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, it's right. Yeah.
Tomorrow it'd be like Beatles, Revolver, and you know, someone else.
We've got what are we going to sit here? I wanted to play MPC by Big Rooster Jeff. These guys are Ruben does a show on a Monday, and this is the one without the bassist. So.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And Ruben is so talented. He's a self-taught keyboard player. And but before lockdown, he got a gig playing at the local church, and he taught himself how to play, a proper organ with the air pipes and the pedals, and he's just, and he's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. So anyway, I'm going to play NCP by Big Rooster Jeff, and I want your opinion. There's no bass on this, or basis on this, so let me know what you think. So you're listening to it without Chris, with Lee, and the shop window. And this is MPC by Big Rooster Jeff. We're right back after this.
it's getting colder. Been feeling around this button all night. She left after I told her. Been breathing by this button all my life. Here's one for you boys. How does a lifetime load sound until I fall back asleep? And here's one for those girls that keen to not play characters. Christ, it's getting colder. Keep sniffing around this button all the time. Keep pushing, pushing, pushing till I feel hurt. There's one for you boys. How does a lifetime load sound until I fall back asleep? There's one for those girls that keen to not play characters.
Rich and Chris and Drive Time Smile Radio.
Welcome back to the Rich and a Bit of Chris show with Lee and the short window, Sid and Carl. How are you there? What do you think to that then?
That's quite incredible, isn't it? It's such a interesting, so many twists and turns in it. It's like you almost get an album in a song there, and you're right, you don't miss the bass because the keyboards are filling out that sort of movement. But it's got a real theatrical element to that, hasn't it?
See, watching that live, I've seen it twice live, and it's just, I mean, when Max he does a bit more on the guitar because obviously he's a bit of a show off, bless him. But
Guitaristly.
what they're
I
like.
like bass players.
Yeah, yeah. Level 42, giving it, slapping it, and all that lot. Anyway, but yeah, he's just because when you were telling me, we ain't got a bassist, I said, how does that work then? And because Pat, the drummer, he's an amazing drummer. He's fantastic, Patrick. But when you see it live, and what I'm saying, it's a bit like Bohemian Rhapsody because it goes off on so many different. Do you understand what?
Got that kind of theatrical rock opera kind of thing going on where there's twists and turns, and it's bringing the mood up and down.
It was quite nice actually, kind of going, oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Because trouble, especially on commercial radio, you hear so much formulaic music nowadays. So to actually kind of go, whoa, where's that going now?
Yeah. They've got there's another one called Redshift, and I know I'm biased because the local lads, and obviously Ruben does a show on the radio, but before he's only been doing it for about 12 months. But even before then, they're one of the first guests that came on, and it was just somebody who sort of a friend of a friend. So have you heard of this band called Big Rooster Jeff? So no, they're only from Dewsbury anyway, and I just went to see him, and then I went to watch him at an intimate gig at a record shop, and that was brilliant. It was brilliant. And then they did one over in Leeds, the 360 Club. And the thing what I liked about that, there were 4 or 5 different bands on that night, and each one, it were only original stuff as well. There were no covers, there were none of that. It were all original, and none of the bands could leave until the last band had finished playing. So, you get, I'm sure you've been to gigs where, the band's played and then before you and they've gone, see ya, I've done my bit, But it was brilliant, and to see it live. But I just love live music, and I just appreciate, what goes into, it's, you don't just rock up and play it. Do you know what I mean?
I know, it's always that, especially with new bands, you get that thing where, people hear recordings and then they see the band live and they're like, oh, much better live, But it's not because it is actually better live. It's because of the experience of being live. The volume of the music, you're seeing a performance. It's all those things that add up to that. I mean, if you actually heard a recording back at low volume of that live gig, you'd be like, oh no, it's actually better. The studio recording's better. But people say that there's so much better live because it's the whole experience. And it's at a volume where you're forced to engage and listen to every note and watch every move. It's that other level of music that we all crave, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'll tell you something now, I'm never going to miss a gig if I have an opportunity. And I mean, there's times when I've gone, because obviously with what we do with this, I've seen lots of live music, and there's times when I think, but I tell you what, I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to do that again. I just can't wait to get out, and I can't wait to hopefully be part of that circuit and what we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
I tell you, it was a good band as well, if you get a chance. A band called Civic Green from Barnsley. They're brilliant. They were my favourite unsigned artist last year. They were my favourite.
Okay, I'll have to look out for those.
Yeah, they're really good, and they're great set of lads as well, and they're non-assuming. Carl, that's you. Gav comes on every now and then. He'll send me, and he just randomly sends me a message, and like New Year's Eve, bless him. Happy New Year, Rich. All the best with Smile Radio. Do you know what I mean? And it just thought that was so
nice, personal kind of.
Yeah. And I'd like to think that everybody that I've had on the show and I've got the contact, I do remain in contact with them. And when they've said they'll play, what they don't realise is it's about legal and binding contract. So.
You've got it recorded.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, it's funny, you talk about live music. It's only taken me about an hour and 35 minutes, but I can remember who the last band I went to see was.
Well done.
I went to see Half Moon Run.
Half Moon Run?
Yeah, the Canadian band. They had a big song, Full Circle.
A fantastic band.
They're a brilliant band, and I saw them at the... I went down to Bristol, and they played at Rough Trade, and they did a 4-song kind of midday thing at Rough Trade, and they were amazing. And then we saw them that night, and they were absolutely brilliant. And it's kind of weird because it was just before everything went pear-shaped in the world. So it was quite good that kind of they made that. But yeah, that was a great gig. There you go, I've remembered.
Well done.
Get in.
Carl's back in the room. Sid's back in the room.
I'm not going to say it's anything to do with your age, Sid. You know.
So, can I just take the name of that label again that you're on then?
Spin Out Nuggets. So website is spinoutproductions.com, and they've got some fantastic stuff on there. They were the one and only label I sent our album to when we finished it, because I'd been looking at labels for about 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
And I handpicked them for us because they remind me of what Creation Records were in that sort of mid to coming up to late 80s period.
Yeah, because I'm
DIY label.
Looking on your background and what have you, you had Creations Records and things like that. That Spin Out, because I'm just taking notes down now, so I can look back into it and look and check them all out and see what's
some great bands on there. Really good roster of releases,
yeah.
and they just reminded me of everything I loved about Creation Records. And Lee, who runs it, he's a wonderful guy, and you know it's his labour of love. He does this for passion, not for.
I can tell because of the name as well. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. But for me, it was just like I'd love to be on a cool label like that because they would get us and they would allow us to do what we do, and I think they would do cool things for us and with us.
And they won't interfere with it and say, "Oh no, you need to do this." You
absolutely,
need to do that.
and it's exactly what I sort of imagined, and it's going like that, and you know. We have a great relationship going forward, and it's cool.
Totally like that, and I like that. Yeah, cool.
Well,
like that as well.
that's on one of the plans for the In the Horizon for Smile. I'd love to have our own label and help support new music. And
do it. I mean, you know, it's a lot of work.
No,
a lot of work, but it's rewarding. I think it's the same as being in the bands. There's a lot of work and no money, but it's rewarding.
No, well, it's always been a plan. You know, get the station up and running, get it self-sufficient, you know, and again hoping getting the live venue which would help. It'd all go in hand in glove, looking at, you know, and we're also looking at getting like pop-up kitchens and looking at local produce, local, you know, street food, you know, so it's going to be an all-encompassing,
going to go the whole hog.
Oh, God bless you. So
that's great. It sounds like a great idea, and I think, you know, on the back of what we've all been going through, it's what's needed. As you say, it's everyone kind of like pulling together and saying, let's make this a group thing where, you know, we've got local food, we've got local artists and all that kind of thing.
I think, but also like, you know, everyone has a bit more appreciation for stuff that's built up from scratch at a street level by real people, and not a chain now. And it's like, I think people want to support those people that are having a go now, don't they? And, you know, they'd rather spend their money there. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Well, basically, it's like supporting your local production shop, your whatever it is, whatever you do. Yeah. And basically, like I say, I mean, British-wise, we do unbelievable music. We are the best at the music, and we do need to start supporting ourselves instead of other people as well.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. Other countries, I think we're fantastic as what we are. What we do is brilliant, and such as you guys, we get you guys on here, and it's like fantastic. You know what I mean. We are the best at the best. So I think that's going down to your whatever, in it, Rich.
Yeah, well, we're going to finish off, because the reason why I've kept it to the end, Carl, is that on Facebook Live and all the social media streams, you always get cut off and they mute it because it's copyright. Even though we pay all our licenses, it drives me.
They have to cut you off and then check and then go, oh
they'll wait.
Oh yeah, thanks.
They'll wait 3 months to then upload it again. So, oh yeah, you're all right to use it. Yeah, cheers.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Cock. Oh, it's too late now. You know, so that's the reason why I've left it to the end, Carl. So, why have you picked? I know you touched on it. So, in regards to why this particular song?
Well, it's because you know, my second wife there, Sid. If you know, think of it as a relationship, this was our song probably back in 1993.
And the weird thing is, we both actually.
That's beautiful.
When you texted me, it was pretty much exactly the song I was about to say to you anyway.
Yeah.
It was the obvious one.
So our song, we're like an old married couple, aren't we?
I know, it does, doesn't it?
It's beautiful.
We are talking about the Barry Manilow track we chose, aren't we?
That's on Colonel Backer's show at 6 o'clock. Right, anyway, all I wanted to do is say thank you so much, guys,
Yeah,
for staying
cheers,
on.
guys. Absolutely brilliant.
You didn't
Yeah,
have
no,
to.
thank
You
you.
didn't have to
Thanks
stay
for
on for
having
the
us.
full
It
2
was-
hours, but I've loved having you on, and I can't wait for you to come back on and promote your album when it's live, when it's out there. So don't
We'd
forget.
love to.
Yeah,
Love to.
so-
and thanks so much for inviting us on. We've had a great time.
All right,
it's
well,
been
well, don't go anywhere. We'll carry on having a quick chat after all this finished. But I'm going to play out your song for whatever. So this is for Tomorrow by Blur. So don't forget, if you've missed this show, well, I'm saying that you can normally catch it on podcast, but we're having a bit of dramas with that. But hopefully we'll have an on-demand on the website. So we'll sort that out. So all I have to say is thanks, Carl. Thanks, Sid. Lee. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. And
Cheers, fellas. Thank
stay
you.
safe, everybody.
Cheers,
And
guys.
and don't forget, give us 3 rings when you get him. Beautiful.
He's a 20th century boy with his hands on the right.